Looking forward to this conversation. Mike, thanks for joining me. Vivi brings something different to the market. You guys have been in the market for 4 years, so I think it'd be nice for you to introduce yourself, give a little background on what you do as the USGM, and then we'll see where the conversation takes us.
Yeah, sure. My name is Mike Adler. Right now, currently working with Vivi. Started as an advisor and really just helping them, commercialize in the U.S. market, whether it's bringing on brands, partnerships, building out the team, in any unique aspects of looking for the right partners to come on board and work with Vivi in general.
And you work with a lot of big brands, and there's a lot that's happened in the market, a lot of changes, but it feels like Vivi's stayed faithful, from what I can tell from the outside, to the core belief. Can you talk a bit about community and community development and how your team tackles community and how you talk about it with those that you work with?
Yeah, look, it's so important for us to make sure that our community and users have their voices heard. We have our Discord channels, Telegram channels. Our users are very active on Twitter. They create their own hashtags, their own community around our platform. So we just want to make sure that their voice is heard, because there's so many, misaligned misinformation when it comes to, what's out there on all these different channels. I mean, people are talking about, all type of speculation, what's happening, who we're bringing on as partners and everything else. We try to keep a good line of communication so they're in the know, which is very important to us.
And when it comes to platform and technology, when you're talking about that internally with your team, how's the conversation internally of like, this is what we're building, this is where we're going, and how is that different when you're talking about with community? Because there must be a difference in terms of the rhythms of how you're talking about platform and products and things of that nature.
What's amazing is our founders, David and Dan, they do a lot of AMAs. They try to be out there to answer as many questions as possible with the community as a whole. Before each drop that we do, in our Discord channel, we have a Clubhouse chat where there's a lot of people are talking about what's going on. We have a ton of moderators that we're bringing on to help disseminate the key information to our users, but it's not always, a great flow. There's a lot of, as I said, misinformation and speculation of what we're doing and what we're bringing on and what we're bringing out. We have a great PR firm, Rogers and Cohen, that we use really to help come out with, the key brands that we're working with, the key drops that we're doing. We try to make sure that we have a cadence that we've developed that our users and new users who want to come onto the platform are in the know. If there are any changes, like we're rolling out a master collector program, it takes time. People don't realize that certain things that you want to bring out to the market takes a lot of time, but also we don't want to bring something out that's not fully polished. And that's, really Dan, who's our COO, is super meticulous, and he wants to make sure that whatever we bring to market, I want to say it's perfect, but as close to perfect as possible.
And when you go to market today compared to the going to market over the last year or further back, what is kind of the pace of going to market today that was different than the past? How have things transformed over the course of seasons?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, we've done a great job of being able to come up with a cadence of either dropping the information on our website, vivi.me, or doing it on Medium. We always do like an Instagram post from David Yu, who's our founder, and we try to come out with like 4 or 5 pieces of information before we have an actual drop. Also, we try to leverage our brands. I mean, Marvel is one of our great partners, and they post everything on their web pages, on their website, on their social channels, because for us, it's a true partnership with our brands. We're not like an OpenSea. We're not a Rarible where you're uploading your content, your NFTs to the platform, and we're taking a small percentage. We're there to help our brands come up with the best product in the market that will be seeded, but also making sure it's communicated in the most efficient way what the brand's going to come out with. And they're behind it. This isn't us. If we're doing a Superman drop or a Captain America drop, we're getting full sign-offs from the Marvel team or Warner Brothers or any of our partners, and it's fully collaborative.
when you project, not predict, but trying to drive toward the future, if I say NFT 2024,
Yeah.
what type of positive things are you and your team and the partners like Marvel that you're bringing to market? What's the vision that you're running after in the next 2 or 3 years?
I mean, look, everyone's running towards the metaverse, and we're creating our own VV-verse, which is important. But I'm really looking to the long-term utility value and the use cases that we can come out with that would make the most sense. Use cases are, for example, we just came out with the 007, a James Bond collectible, which was a golden ticket. We only sold 7 of them, but that bridged the gap between the physical world and the digital world, where whoever bought that NFT got the rights to bring 7 of their friends or colleagues to the movie. And so looking at that, as we're launching sports, it's the same thing. We want to be able to make sure that there are use cases that are going to be strong and pertinent, that we can build a better one-to-one communication with our fans, which is what it's all about. We want enthusiastic fans who want to own our NFTs, our collectibles, for the long term, not just to buy and flip. Our goal is, the experience. And we've created an amazing experience with each collectible that you own, you can open up an AR. We have virtual showrooms. And that's all about the experience that VeVe has always been about. And that's what we've always been trying to create from day one. It's the experience and being able to interact with your collectibles and your NFTs in a very unique way. And in the future, what is that going to look like? And within a metaverse, a VeVe-verse environment, if you have 2 hot rods and you're able to race them in a metaverse with AR and the future of VR, I think there's going to be some really cool stuff that you can be able to do for sure. And I'm excited as well as everybody else. And I think we're really in the first inning of what the utility value is going to look like.
So if we're in the first inning, what do you project as these things go on? Does the game change, or do people just, play harder? Like how do things change in terms of how these things are attacked over time?
I mean, look, there's a lot more competition, a lot more companies coming into the market. So depending on your approach, I think you have to build some type of moat around your company. And for us, the moat is having good relationships with our brands and bringing on more brands, and they're happy. But look, I think technology changes, with all different types of technology, like LiDAR and VR and glasses and everything else. And, look, Facebook's getting into the game as well. Facebook wants to create their own metaverse. They're probably going to create their own NFT platform. So I think with us, it's always been first mover advantage. We've been in the space for 4 years, but we want to continue to innovate. And we want to continue to innovate and come out with good products that our users are going to like. And that's always a part of the challenge. You really want to stay one step ahead of everyone else that's out there. And we do have a head start, but it's going to be an interesting next 12, 24 months to see what happens.
As we wrap up our conversation, let me ask you this question. When there's all these folks in New York City with us, right? 5,000 people have bought tickets to attend the event.
It's amazing. It's incredible.
Yeah. I just my heart claps.
Yeah.
My brain smiles. As you think about all these folks and you want their attention, a lot of the brands want your team's attention. But if you could gather everybody up inside Times Square, you could have all the billboards and you could give a message, whether it's a corporate message from VeVe or it's a personal message from you, or both, right? You have one on one side, one on the other. What would you want to say to everyone that's part of the event if you had their attention?
Look, I think the most important thing for us is about the experience. And as people learn as people are learning more about what NFTs are, and there's so many options, like there's so many places to go. And for VeVe, we want to be able to be the de facto platform that if you're a fan of pop culture, you're a fan of art, you're a fan of music, you're a fan of sports, we want to be able to bring to the mass market a uniqueness in our 3D technology for all different fans of all different walks of life. And I think that's really the key that I want people to understand, that we're not a third-party exchange. And we never want to be a third-party exchange. We want you to be able to come to VeVe as a collector and to be able to experience and buy something that you like, that resonates with you, that you love, versus, just going out there and speculating, buying stuff on open exchanges. And it's all about the experience. We want to create the best experience where we don't want to we don't want to retrain the user on a new paradigm. People have been collecting for thousands of years. We're replicating what people do in the physical world in the digital world. You buy, you interact, you have fun with, you share. And then within our platform, we have our own secondary market where you can resell so it's a seamless process. And we built it mobile first to make it super easy for you to come, buy, interact, sell. I mean, the big challenge now is that, our drops sell out in under a second, which is a big challenge, but it's a good problem to have.
Well, we congratulate you on all the success that you and your team have had. I look forward to spending time with you in New York. For anybody that's watching us live or sees this archive, thank you for your attention. My name's Ian Util. I'm one of the co-producers of NFT NYC, and we're very thankful to have incredible companies like Vivi and executives like you, Mike. So thanks for joining me for this, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks. I appreciate it.